What's up, everybody? It's Langston, and I'm not alone. I am joined by incredible, studs, if I may say so.
Oh,
look at these good-looking folks.
Thank
the
you.
Incredible Jackson Lanzing and Collin Kelly, the masterminds behind Captain America. All things Captain America, really, from Marvel right now.
Certainly half the things for Captain America. Captain America, Sentinel of Liberty, which is the Steve Rogers half of the Captain America run right now. Tochi Onyibuchi's on the other side of that with Symbol of Truth.
Yep.
But we're sort of working together as like a three-part highline on this book to make it happen. So just imagine Tochi's also here.
Yes, he's here.
He's the
in
Phantom
spirit.
Tochi.
Yeah, the Phantom Tochi. Ooh, I like that. That's your next book. The Phantom Tochi.
Yeah.
So I got to ask y'all first, what's it been like being at New York Comic Con? What's the experience been like?
Absolutely unreal. The last time we were at this show, we were
2019.
We were much younger men. Our careers were in a very different place. In fact, we were just effectively hustling, trying desperately to get work.
At Marvel.
No.
We were like, we came to New York specifically because like Marvel was here. We hadn't done anything at Marvel. We really wanted to work at Marvel. And we had one meeting, only one meeting the whole weekend that was just with Alana Smith, who's the editor of the Captain America books that we are currently doing. She sat down with us and within about 5 minutes of meeting us, looked at us and said, you know, I think you guys would be really good at Steve. And we were like, you mean Rogers?
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah. And I was like, well, that's not available. She was like, no, it's not. But maybe someday.
Yeah.
And now, 3 years later, we're back at New York Comic Con promoting Captain America Sentinel of Liberty that we're doing with Alana. So this show really is actually the origin of our Captain America run and now the fulfillment of it. It's really cool.
That's great. So talking about this character, so, I mean, Captain America, I mean, to say iconic is kind of an understatement in terms of not just for the Marvel fans, but within the Marvel universe. Captain America is this benchmark persona.
He is the
character.
superhero for superheroes.
Exactly. So what has it been like, kind of like, again, like shaping this book and this story along with Tochi, and especially shaping Steve Rogers, who's been through so much and so many stories have been told.
The big marker for us on coming onto this book was that it wasn't a Captain America book first. It was a Steve Rogers book first. And that everything that you were looking for out of a big wham-bam Captain America book was happening over in Symbol of Truth with Sam Wilson out there being the Captain America for the world. This book is about Steve Rogers moving back home, moving to Lower Manhattan, because that's where he's from in the comics, not Brooklyn. Surprise.
Fun fact.
Moving back to Lower Manhattan, to the little tenement building that he grew up in, and just having neighbors again, having a normal life, going to art classes at the local community
to go to community college and learn how to do digital art.
But imagine you're jacked, young, handsome, super soldier grandpa.
Exactly.
He has a lot of problems with the pressure on the stylus.
Of
He's just so damn strong.
Just silences through pads.
Honestly, absolutely. And that was the whole thing, is learning how does Steve Rogers have neighbors? How does Steve Rogers have friends? How does Steve Rogers go day to day? How does he inspire people in his everyday life, right? And then, once we had that stuff established, then we could start to actually look at that iconic part of it, the icon, that symbol on that shield right next to you, and say, what does that symbol actually mean? What does it mean to Steve? What does it mean to the world? And then what does it actually mean in history? What does it mean from its origins? What can we reveal about the shield that can make Steve have to rethink all of that and start to reincorporate that iconography and re-understand his own ability to be iconic? So it was kind of about stripping out that he's an icon part of it so that we had room to, because otherwise we'd be way too intimidated, to like tell a story about a man. Tell a story about a human being going through something, and then reassemble the myth around him.
Yeah.
Nice. So another thing, I again, because this character it's so fun, because there's always like this espionage, and there is this connection to the greater world. So what is it like? Again, like you said, seeing Steve as a person. What is it like then taking that person that has had all that development? Does that affect him in his role as Captain America? Does that kind of affect how he operates and how he fights the forces of evil?
Oh, absolutely. Because in assembling a group of people, normal civilians around him, and getting him back in touch with it, it really means that there's people for him to save. Right? And that's the thing you always, we get so caught up in the Dr. Dooms and all the other great wham-bam clashing, but at the end of the day, superheroes are rescue workers. They save people. And so being able to bring that, and then also teaming it up with Bucky. Right? We are two best friends who write about two best friends. And our big core there was you cannot write about Steve without also looking at Bucky Barnes, which is obviously a friendship. But as they start unraveling the mysteries of the shield, the inherent, the secrets that it holds, it's going to start ripping these two men apart. And if anyone has read issue 5 yet,
it already did. It just did. End of issue 5 of Captain America: Sentinel of Liberty blew up their friendship, and issue 6 is going to deal with that very directly. And then we have this Winter Soldier special coming out in conjunction with that, with art by Kev Walker, that's going to tell you a whole new status quo for Bucky Barnes and bring him into a new mission, give him a new costume, a new look. We're really pushing these characters forward into their next incarnations, and we're seeing what new story territory we can find out of these guys.
Right.
And to your point about following him going into action, now that we know that he's Steve, you know one of the ways that really helps is that now we know the man behind the shield and the face.
Right.
So if you've spent half the book just meeting Steve in his world, and then he goes into 10 pages of kicking the crap.
Throwing his mighty shield.
Throwing his mighty shield. You also now know what's going on behind that man's eyes. You know the pain he's going through or the confusion he's going through. You know the human side of that. So it hopefully makes all of that wham bam awesome killer Captain America fun time meaningful and like rooted in soul, which I think we all want out of Captain America.
Yes. Well, I'm excited. I'm sure. I'm just excited. I have a shield at home. I have a shield at home now.
You've been saying you need to get one to share.
You have to get one. You can't. How y'all not have shields?
Yeah,
I know. Oh my goodness.
Felt too good to be true.
Right, Jackson, Colin, thank you so much for joining me, and all of y'all check out Captain America: Sentinel of Liberty and all the cool things happening from Captain America from these folks and Tochi, and be sure to check out all the cool things happening here at Marvel. Thank you so much for joining us.